Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to today's virtual session of 8th Standard History. Let us begin the day with the quote, "Do it now, sometimes later becomes never." Children, procrastination is the biggest slayer of minds. Do not postpone anything that holds importance for you. A task, for example, exams or fitness goals, may seem difficult at first, but proper planning and efforts in that direction will help you complete it successfully. Just because a task seems arduous doesn't mean it should be left to deal with later. Just take the first step and start with the tiniest job to begin with. Once you have put the wheels in motion, the whole work will be accomplished even before you realize it. Children, in the previous week, I discussed about the various happenings in Europe which had its impact on our country. I discussed about the period of Renaissance, the advantages of Renaissance, the invention of printing press, religious reform movement, geographical discoveries, intellectual revolution in Europe, revolution in political sphere, and also you have come to know about the American War of Independence and also French Revolution. Children, French Revolution gave the world the three values, that is liberty, equality and fraternity. Today I would like to introduce you the next part of the topic, that is Industrial Revolution. So children, you should open your History Civics textbook and you should open page number 7. Children, the Industrial Revolution marked a period of development in the later half of the 18th century that transformed largely rural agrarian societies in Europe and America into industrialized urban ones. Goods that had once been painstakingly crafted by hand started to be produced in mass quantities by machines in factories, thanks to the introduction of new machines and techniques in textiles, iron making, and other industries. Fueled by the game-changing use of steam power, the Industrial Revolution began in Britain and spread to the rest of the world, including the United States by the 1830s and 40s. Modern historians offer to this period as the first industrial revolution to set it apart from a second period of industrialization that took place from the late 19th to early 20th centuries and saw rapid advances in the steel, electric, and automobile industries. So, children, in the later period of the 18th century, there were many technological innovations in Europe. There was production with the help of machines running on steam. The cottage industries were replaced by big factories. Machines, railway, and steamer became the mode of transportation. The age of machines began, and this is known as Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution began in England and then spread the other part of the West. During this period, England enjoyed industrial prosperity and came to be described as world factory. Children, the Industrial Revolution marked a period of development in the later half of the 18th century that transformed largely rural agrarian societies in Europe and America into industrialized urban ones. Goods that had once been painstakingly crafted by hand started to be produced in mass quantities by machines in factories, thanks to the introduction of new machines and techniques in textiles, iron making, and other industries. Fueled by the game-changing use of steam power, the Industrial Revolution began in Britain and spread to the rest of the world, including the United States. By the 1830s and 40s, modern historians often refer to this period as the first industrial revolution to set it apart from a second period of industrialization that took place from the late 19th to early 20th centuries and saw rapid advances in the steel, electronic, and automobile industries. Historians may disagree on most aspects of the Industrial Revolution, but one thing they do agree on this that 18th century Britain experienced a huge change in the economic field of goods, production and technology, and the social sphere. The reasons for this change continue to fascinate historians, leading people to wonder if there was a set of preconditions present in Britain shortly before the revolution which enabled or allowed it to take place. These preconditions tend to cover population, agriculture, industry, transport, trade, finance, and raw materials. Children, as well as the debate over preconditions, there has been a closely related discussion over the causes of the revolution. A wide range of factors is generally considered to have worked together, including the end of medieval structures, changed economic relationships and allowed for change, a higher population because of less disease and lower infant mortality allows for a larger industrial workforce. The agricultural revolution frees people from the soil, allowing or driving them into cities and manufacturing. Proportionally large amount of spare capital were available for investment. Inventions and the scientific revolution allowed for new technology to increase and cheapen production. Colonial trade networks allowed the import of materials and the export of manufactured goods. The presence of all the required resources close together, such as coal near iron, culture of hard work, risk taking, and the development of ideas, and the last one, that is demand for goods. So these were all the causes of industrial revolution. So children, I have covered a lot of things, a lot of points regarding industrial revolution. Although these points are not there in your book, but I want to give you a detailed description of industrial revolution. That's why I have covered all these points. If you listen to the video carefully, it will be helpful for you to know about in detail about the industrial revolution.